I'm excited to introduce our keynote speaker for the evening. Linda Karanzalis, a board-certified cognitive specialist, is the author of Misnamed, Misdiagnosed, and Misunderstood, and a project social ambassador for the NVLD Project. If you missed her on your way in, she is selling the book over in the middle section between here and the auction, so be sure to check that out before you leave. With over 25 years of experience working with individuals with learning disabilities, she founded ADDvantages Learning Center in 1997 to help students of all ages reach their potential through executive functioning training, social emotional skills development, and parent coaching. She also served as a chapter coordinator for CHAD. Welcome, Linda.
Hello everyone, I am so excited to be here to support the NVLD project and to support those and be a voice of those who do have NVLD, like myself. I guess you're wondering why I'm holding some tulips. I'd like to tell you a story about a little girl with an undiagnosed nonverbal learning disorder. She was around the age of 6. It was a beautiful spring day. She knew her mother's favorite flowers were tulips because her mother was from Holland. So on this spring day, she decided to go into the garden to get tulips for her mom. She chopped off the tops of about a dozen tulips and proudly carried them into the house to present them to her mother. Her mother said, "Now I'm going to have to put these tulip heads in bowls of water." Now I want you to imagine putting yourself in the shoes of this mother. The next day, the little girl comes and she gives you another dozen tulip heads. How would you react and how would you feel? Well, this mom was mad, so she punished her daughter for her behavior. But the little girl was so confused and ashamed. She had no idea why she was being punished and what she had done wrong because she could not read her mother's nonverbal cues. Well, surprise, this little girl was me. From the time I was a small child, I struggled with academic and social challenges, debilitating anxiety, loneliness, and depression. We are everywhere, 2.2 million plus. Most don't even know they have NVLD, but they know that something is wrong. I and others with NVLD have spent a lifetime being misdiagnosed, misunderstood, and mistreated. Those agonizing moments of misunderstanding what others are saying, or saying the wrong thing to someone, misreading social cues, sarcastic remarks and jokes, being gullible, tripping and falling, that's why later on you'll see me with sneakers on, and constantly losing our way. That was very interesting getting here today. And being unable to see the forest from the trees to get the big picture. These and many other difficulties are embarrassing and make it difficult to live with NVLD. But not everyone with NVLD has it in the exact same way. The saying goes, when you've met one person, you've met just one person with NVLD. Most are misdiagnosed with ADHD or on the autistic spectrum. While there is an overlap of symptoms, and some have more than one condition, it's crucial to have the correct diagnosis for identification and treatment. My parents were baffled as to what was wrong with me, and they had no idea how to help me. Like many others, I slipped through the cracks, and I wasn't diagnosed until I was an adult. I was so excited when I got a diagnosis because I thought, now I can get help. But I couldn't find anybody to help me. The professionals I saw were as clueless as my parents, so I had to help myself. And it was through my failures and my pain that I developed grit and perseverance, which ultimately led me to success. I am proof that it is possible to achieve success despite a diagnosis of NVLD and ADHD. In my new book, I share my journey and some of the stories of those I've helped. Every strategy and the development of cognitive processing skills that I use with myself are the foundation of my work with my clients. I'd like to tell you about a couple of clients that I helped reduce their struggles with NVLD. Tom was a 37-year-old computer technician. He excelled at his job despite multiple struggles. His difficulties on the job were time management and visual spatial challenges. So once I was able to identify that he suffered from ADHD and NVLD, I was able to develop a treatment plan. His company was located on an enormous campus and met with many different buildings and departments. So he was usually unable to locate the employee that needed his critical help because he couldn't find his way around. Through skills training in cognitive processing and individual coaching, he dramatically improved his life skills. He was then able to advocate for himself and receive job accommodations. Billy was a 4th grader in my class. He struggled with academic, social skills, and talking back to other teachers. One day, he interrupted my lesson by engaging with other students. I asked him to put away whatever he had that he was playing with, but with irritation, he said no. So I retrieved his plaything. At the end of the school day, I asked him privately, why did he refuse my request? He looked me straight in the eye and said, because you didn't tell me, you asked me. When I explained to him that my annoyed facial expression, tone of voice, and strong eye contact meant it wasn't a choice, he replied, well, you should have said that in the first place, as if he were the teacher and I was his student. Over the following months, I worked with him to understand nonverbal language and communication with others. This is why the work of the NVLD Project is so vital. NVLD needs to be part of the medical nomenclature. Having a recognized disorder will lead to earlier diagnosis, sparing many years of confusion and suffering. This organization has single-handedly brought a little-known condition to the public's attention. Their work has fueled new research and advocated for including NVLD in the next edition of the DSM, where it will be identified as developmental visual spatial disorder. NVLD must be included in the DSM to validate the disorder and allow insurance reimbursement for much-needed treatment. I am so grateful to the NVLD Project for their tireless efforts and the progress they are making on behalf of the millions of people NVLD impacts. Thank you for being here this evening, supporting the work of the NVLD Project and everyone whose lives is touched by NVLD. NVLD is a different way of experiencing the world. It's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. So I hope this evening that I have shared a message of hope, resilience, and the power of change. Let's work together to ensure that individuals with NVLD can live rich, full, rewarding lives on their own terms. Thank you so much.